Hi guys, what's up? I hope everyone's having a great day. I wanted to give a little story time slash rant vent. Okay, so I'm in my backyard, and in my backyard, this is a new build. And so when I bought the house, it was dirt, and so they built it from the ground up, which has always been my dream. However, in my backyard, it's all dirt. So I have been shopping for a pool person and a landscaper, and the prices are just crazy, crazy, crazy. So it's been a little overwhelming, and so I kind of put it on pause because it's just me kind of doing everything, and I'm like, okay, I need a break. But what I really, really, really desire in my backyard is a garden. Yep, I'm that age. I want to be like baby boy's mom, in my back, not smoking, but like in my backyard, having a cocktail and watching my greens and my cucumbers. So I really, really want to start a garden. And so there's a farm not too far from me, and so I'm gonna go there pretty soon. And that's the whole point of the video. I was thinking about when I was growing up. So I'm from Chicago. We moved here when I was 11, and we moved to Phoenix. So if you're from Phoenix, you probably know the area, 51st Avenue and Indian School. It's Maryville, John F. Long. Those are kind of some of the schools over there in that area. But it's really built up now. But when we moved here, there was a lot of like land, and there was a lot of vacant. Like there was a shopping center that wasn't really used. It was just abandoned. So we didn't have a lot of money at all. We slept on the floor for a long time. We finally got beds. We didn't have a lot of money. We ate chicken nuggets for a long time because you can buy big bags for like $5, and so that's a lot of chicken nuggets. And for a long time I could not eat a darn chicken nugget because I was chicken nugget out. And we went to food banks and things like that. It wasn't always like that, but for a moment in time, we definitely was, we were doing okay, right? We were doing okay. We were doing the best that we could at the time. So we didn't have like a lot to drink, and back in that day we were on our Kool-Aid Flavor Aid. I don't know if y'all know about that. I don't think people drink it as much, but you used to make Kool-Aid and Flavor Aid all the time. So Kool-Aid was like 30 cents a packet maybe, and like Flavor Aid was like 10 cents a packet. But if you didn't have that much money, you would get like Flavor Aid, and you would kind of try to put enough sugar in it to make it kind of taste like Kool-Aid. So anyway, sometimes we didn't have money for that. So in Phoenix, there was this little row of trees, and it had fruit on it. So we're like, okay, you know what, let's go pick the fruit and we can make like orange juice ourselves. Right? And so we would go and pick the fruit, and when you look at it, you're like, this looks weird, this fruit. So it didn't really look like an orange, and it didn't really look like a lemon, but it looked weird and it tasted weird. And we're just like, I don't know, let's just do it. Like, it tasted a little funny, but it was fruit, it was free, and you can pick as much as you want. Like, we would go down with some grocery bags, and we'll like pick it and run. I don't know why we would run, because there was not like police out there, but we just was like, we'll pick it and then we'll run, and we'll go home and we'll cut it up, squeeze it in there, put some water and sugar, and that would be like our Kool-Aid. And so years later, like a couple years ago, we were talking to my brother's girlfriend, and we were at the pool. Actually, I remember it because I was like, oh my gosh. We were at the pool, my favorite place besides the ocean. We were at the pool, and because she lived in that area too, and she was like, that's not real fruit. And we're like, what? And she's like, yeah, those are called decoration trees or decorative trees. And I was like, no wonder. It tasted different. It tasted weird. And I was like, why the heck would they plant decoration trees? Y'all gotta look it up because I didn't know it was a thing, but it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. So I was like, oh my God, you know how many apple or lemon orange concoctions we made? Like, we made so many of those juices. We would eat it as like regular fruit, you know, with our chicken nuggets and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, why would they even decide to do something like that? Because mind you, these trees are like full grown. They're big, like they've been growing for a while. Like, it wasn't something that was just planted. It's been blooming and blossoming for a while. And I was thinking like, ain't that some ish? And my whole vent is, look how like society, I feel like there's a lot of homeless people, right? And us, we weren't homeless, but we definitely needed food. Wouldn't it be just amazing to have real fruit growing on the actual street? Like, you know, not like just random, but just like there's, instead of, because in Arizona there's a lot of rocks. We have desert landscaping because it's so hot here. It's really, you know, tough. It's a lot. It takes a lot of water and nurture to kind of have a lawn or grass or different plants that don't really grow in the heat. And I'm like, wouldn't it just be amazing to have like real fruit trees, real vegetable lots that's just free and open to the public, and people could pick it, and maybe there could be someone working there or volunteers to help kind of keep it going and watering and all that kind of stuff. Like, wouldn't that just be amazing? And then I started thinking like, no, they probably wouldn't do that because of greed, because of money. When you go to a grocery store, fruit costs so much darn money, and they make so much money off of fruit, off of things that come from the earth. And honestly, it ticked me off. The more I thought about it, the more I was like, ain't that some ish? Like, greed. Like, we are citizens of the United States, and mind you, I love being in America. There's so many things that is wrong, but this is all I know. And I'm just here just stating my opinion. This is my opinion, guys, my opinion on what could help the world, what could help America, what could help us. Because so many of us, like especially when we were growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. We went to the food banks, you know, and if it was a name brand item in the box of the food bank, we're just like, oh my God, we got name brand Chips Ahoy. Like, that meant a lot as a kid. Even now, when I grocery shop, somehow, some way, like after I put all the food away, I feel like better. I feel like when my babies eat a meal, I feel good. And maybe it's childhood trauma that I'm like, you know, I knew how it felt. And mind you, my mom did the best she could. It wasn't always like that, but for a little point in time, it was like that. And I guess my rant is just like, we could be planting in our yard. So let me back up. I read this article that back in the day, slave owners, you know, they had this like huge lands, and the land used to have crops. And as a status symbol, they stopped planting food and they started having just grass. And that's how we got our front yard to be just like a landscape, like of grass, or if it's a desert landscaping. That's how that came to be. If I'm wrong, please forgive me, but that's what I read. Hopefully it's right. But it used to be where your front yard, you had actual crops and you had vegetables and things like that. And then as a status symbol, they changed it up. Like, I don't need that. Let me just plant grass. And maybe we should go back to that, where in your front yard, instead of it being just desert landscaping, or instead of it being grass. Maybe we should go back to planting a garden in your front yard, planting trees, planting more things where, you know, not only you and your family could pick, but maybe if someone is in need, you can help each other. You can barter with each other. Like, hey, I'll give you some collard greens for some oranges. You know, like maybe we need to go back to community. I feel like nowadays people are so solo. You know, social media is amazing. There's so many benefits, but I feel like also with social media, a lot of people feel disconnected to one another. And maybe that could be a way that we can make community again. Do you guys understand? So I'm just, you know, speaking from my heart. You know, when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot. There's a lot of kids out there who don't have a lot of parents, you know, who times are hard. The economy, you're not making as much money, everything, inflation is, you know, taking all of your dollar, and it doesn't go as far. So maybe what if food cannot be so much of an issue? We can get back to eating more healthier. We can get back to greens on the plate, vegetables on the plate, you know, fruit. Maybe that could be, it could be, we can get out of this plastic wrapped stuff. We can go back to the garden, go back to community, go back to gardening, you know. And that's something, and number one, that's also one of the reasons why I want to start my own garden, because food is so expensive. I want to be able to pick my yard, and you know, I love greens, as y'all know. I love greens, I love fruit, I love avocados, I love tomatoes. I love all that. So I'm like, what if I have my own garden? And what if I was able to like post, you know, somewhere like, hey guys, if you guys need food, like please come to my garden, you know. Like I would love to do that. So that's something that I'm working on. I don't have a green thumb. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't have a green thumb. I'm gonna say I'm working on it. And hopefully when I go to the farm, they can give me some pointers, or someone could come to my house and kind of show me how to set it up. But yeah, the garden thing made me think about my childhood and them planting fake trees. And then it kind of just led me to maybe we can just plant in our front yard. But you know what, now that I think about it, I don't know if the HOA would allow that. Maybe we can do it in the backyard, or I don't know guys, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of different ways, you know, because I do think that when you grow something and you share it with each other, that will build community and friendships. And like, hey, you know, in case you need this, I have this, you know, in case you're low on money, you can't get fruit, don't let the babies not have fruit, don't let the babies not have vegetables. Like, you can have some of mine, or we can barter, we can trade, you know. Like maybe it's time to kind of bring it back to the old days, to the back in the day where we did stuff like that. So yeah. Let's come back together. Maybe, I don't know, let me ask you guys, are you guys gonna start a garden? Have you been thinking about it? What are your thoughts on the whole sharing and getting back to community? What are your thoughts? So those are my thoughts. That's just a little snippet. I may revisit this topic later, because there's so much I want to give to you guys, but my brain is like, so it's kind of it's a lot going on. But yeah, I think sometimes a part of it is greed, because if we're all growing our own food, you know, that's gonna take away from corporate making money. By the way, have you guys noticed there's no seedless grapes with seeds? It's all seedless grapes. Like, how did we get to a point where there's no seeds in the fruit? Like, I feel like that's kind of weird, don't you think? There's so many fruit. I was at Aldi, which is like my fave store, and all the fruit, even the organic fruit, didn't have seeds. And I'm like, where are the seeds at? So y'all they don't really want us to plant our own garden because they're not giving us the seeds. You know, you gotta buy them from that company. I'm not gonna say the name, and who knows what's in that concoction, you know? So, man, it's layers. Maybe, okay, so I do want to warn you guys, I do think outside the box, and I could go deep. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to go deep. Y'all may think I'm a weirdo, but I do think sometimes they don't want you to do a garden. They is corporate greed monster who wants to take all the money because they don't put seeds in the fruit anymore. Like, you have to buy seeds, and I mean, that goes deep. You know, that person who's buying all the farms, you know, if you control the farms, you control the people. You know, and also, even with, don't get me started on meat. Don't get me started on meat. Meat, so there's a spot that's from Chicago that came down, and I don't want to say the name because I don't want to put them out there because it's not them per se. But I ordered, it was a chicken basket, and why was this chicken like this chicken was so huge. It's supposed to be tenders. It looks like a whole leg, and I was grossed out. Actually, I didn't eat it. I felt like there's too many darn hormones in this chicken. I am not eating that chicken. It was just too big for my comfort. And then that goes into, we're feeding the chickens hormones, and then we are eating the chicken, so the hormones are getting to our body, and then you're wondering why girls are developing at 10 and having their cycle at 11, and boys have mustaches, they're not even in junior high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you guys think is gonna happen if you guys are putting all this stuff in our food and then we're eating it? Like, we're gonna have an effect on it. I can go on and on and on, but I just want, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is like my little rant. My little rant. I just want to eat cleaner and have access to things that do not have hormones, because even the things that says like anti-hormones, like, how do you actually know that it's not? It could be in that same factory, you know, it could be, how do you even know? I mean, I guess that's one of the things that you have to pray over your food and just ask to clean it and nutrients, and everything's going to be okay. And that's when I guess your immune system kicks in to kind of fight off if anything is not good. And then I guess that goes into, see, I can go on and on and on, guys. And because that goes into, it's better to cook at home, because when you're cooking at home, so what I learned is when you're cooking at home and you're in a good mood, that's why the food comes out good, because you're putting your energy into this food. So that's why most times when you go out to eat, that food does not hit the same as a home cooked meal, baby, because when you're cooking, and like for me, when I cook, I have to have music on, like I have to be in a good mood or else I don't feel like cooking. Like, period. Like, I'm like, all right, guys, heat up some Hot Pockets. But if I'm in a good mood, you know, I'm cooking, like that's when the food is. Hi, guys. So you're not gonna believe this, but my thing stopped as I was talking, my camera. That has never happened. You guys see, I was getting too deep. The elites don't want you to know about this. But yeah, that's crazy. I just had to come on and just wrap it up real quick. See, now I lost my train of thought. But basically, I was just saying that we need to get back to healthy living, gardening, growing our own food, community, bartering, helping each other. And also, I do think the meat industry needs to be more regulated. I think that something tastes weird with the food. Like, food really doesn't hit the same like it used to. I don't know if it's just me. You guys tell me if you guys feel the same. But I just feel like meat and different things, it just doesn't taste as good as it used to. And I'm almost thinking that it's all the hormones and the antibiotics and all the whatever they put in there. And I think that it should be regulated. I think that, I don't know, I just think that so many things should go into place. But I know it would be hard because of all the red tape and such. So I'm not quite sure what a solution could be, you know, because these companies are humongous. And I don't know what that solution looks like. But as far as fruit and vegetables, I do think that we should start gardening. Or maybe me, I'm sorry, I'm gonna speak for me, and you know, maybe you. So I don't want to talk to everybody, but you know, I am gonna start gardening. I gotta figure it out because I don't know how to garden. For a while I was buying fresh flowers every week for myself, and they would die. So that's something that's like not my forte, but I'm gonna make it my forte. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to come on because my phone it shut down abruptly. So I was like, the elite's not gonna do it this time. But yeah, anyway, I just want to say, let's bring back humidity. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I was everywhere talking about everything, but I just have so many thoughts, especially on this topic. And I'm probably gonna do another video. Maybe I'll start writing down my thoughts. When I talk and do my videos, I pretty much just do it off top of my brain, you know what I'm saying, like an MC. Just kidding. But I just talk, and I just try to talk from my heart. Maybe I won't write it down, I don't know. But I really just try to talk from my heart and tell you guys what's on my mind about everything. I try to be, you know, as authentic as possible, and this is just something that's been on my mind. So I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear if you have any gardening tips, if you have any tips in general, or comments, you know, let me know. And I will see you guys for the next one. Bye.